Salient features of the British Constitution. Introduction. A constitution means certain principles on which the government of the state is organised and which establish relations between the people and the government. The British Constitution is unique in nature. It is constantly growing and changing. Salient features of the British Constitution. The following are the salient features of the British Constitution. A. Unwritten. In nature, the British Constitution is unwritten, but that does not mean that all of its parts are unwritten. It means that it has not been reduced to writing in a single document. Besides the same fact, some of the components are found in written form. B. Evolutionary growth. The British Constitution is the result of evolutionary growth. It is not the product of any express legislative act or acts. The British Constitution is a product of evolution. It is not a complete thing, but a process of growth. C. Flexible. The British Constitution is a flexible constitution. The British Parliament can amend the Constitution by ordinary legislative procedure and by a simple majority. It's because of the absence of specific procedures required for the amendment of the Constitution. D. Unitary Constitution. The British Constitution has a unitary character. All powers of the state are concentrated in the hands of a single government for the whole country. There are no units or states in Britain. E. Bicameralism. The British Parliament consists of two chambers, that is, the House of Lords and the House of Commons. The House of Commons is the lower chamber of Parliament. It is a popular chamber whose members are directly elected by the people. On the other hand, the House of Lords is the upper chamber. It is basically a hereditary chamber, and its members are nominated by the Queen or King. F. Supremacy of the Parliament. Parliament is supreme and sovereign in England. Its command is law, and it is final. No court in the country can challenge the validity of laws passed by Parliament. In the words of Delorme, British Parliament can do everything except to make a man into a woman and vice versa. G. Collective responsibility. Ministers must stand together, and they cannot oppose governmental policy. Every minister is also individually responsible for the House of Commons and the Crown. H. Two-party system. The presence of a two-party system has been credited with establishing the English political system. The two-party system flourished in Britain right from the beginning of the parliamentary period. J. Rule of law. The rule of law may be defined as the fact that none of the people are above or below the law. What is the law for one is also the law for the other. All people are equal in the eyes of the law. If any person violates the law, he should face trial in the government court. No person can be punished unless and until it is definitely proven that he has violated some law of the country. K. Fundamental rights. The fundamental rights of the citizens have not been incorporated in the form of a list in the British Constitution. The freedoms of the Englishman are guaranteed by the ordinary law of the land. The British Constitution is not the creator but a product of fundamental rights, which have been recognised from time to time by the courts. L. Checks and balances. The British Constitution is also based on the principle of checks and balances. For example, the two houses of Parliament can pass a law, but no new law can be enforced until it is signed by the King or Queen. Likewise, no order of the Crown is valid unless and until it is countersigned by the concerned ministry of the country. M. Unreality. Unreality is another characteristic of the English Constitution. There is a great difference between the appearance and reality of the Constitution. For example, it is an absolute monarchy in theory, but in reality, the same theory is not functional. It is now a democratic state ruled by a parliament elected by the people. N. Mixed constitution. The British Constitution is a mixture of monarchical, aristocratic, and democratic principles. In other words, we can say it like this: The British Constitution is a mixture of absolute and limited monarchy. O. Limited monarch. In England, monarchy is limited in nature. The powers of the king have been taken away through statutes and conventions, and those are being exercised by the ministers in the name of the Crown. At present, the Crown can do nothing without the advice and consent of the Ministry. P. Universal adult suffrage, right to vote. Every individual over the age of 18 has the right to vote. Q. Conservativeness. The British Constitution is a symbol of conservatism. The trend of the people of the UK is absolutely in favour of old institutions, and this concept is the existence of conservatism. R. Independence of the judiciary. The British Constitution is not based on the theory of strict separation of powers, yet by convention and tradition, a lot of independence has been allowed to the judiciary. Judges are paid liberal